Welcome to the channel called CAD with Mr. Hugh. In today's video, we're looking at third angle projection. So we'll be given an 3D view and we will be representing this 3D object in 2D views. And the method of projection that we'll be using is third angle projection. We thank you for joining us and we're starting the video now. Welcome to the channel called CAD with Mr. Hugh. In today's video, we'll be drawing the 2D views for the 3D object shown on the screen on the left of the screen. Now, the first thing we're going to do, we're going to set up our page. And the first thing we're going to do, we're going to set up our unit. So we type in UN for short for units, press enter. Then we're going to change the precision to 0 decimal places. We're going to make sure that it is in millimeters because in today's drawing, we are drawing in millimeters. The decimal degrees, we're going to let that stay as 0. We're going to press OK. Now, the next thing we're going to set is our check is our grid. We already know that the grid is 10, but we're going to check it nevertheless. So we type in GRID for grid, or the grid spacing is 10. As you can see on the cursor here, we press escape. Alright, the next thing we want to check is the snap. We already know this snap is 10 by the default, but we're going to check it nevertheless. So there it is, 10. Right? There's a 10 there highlighted. So we're going to press escape. Alright, so the grid is 10 and the snap is 10. What that means is that when you move the cursor, here is the grid on the screen. The cursor, when you have selected an option like the line, the cursor will snap to these different points at 10 millimeters, right? So if you want the cursor to snap in between, you'd have to type snap, and you have to set this to 5. All right? Good. Now I'm going to change it to 10. I want it to snap at 10. So I'm going to put it back at 10, which is the default setting. All right? The next thing we're going to do, we're going to go to our Layer Properties Manager, and we're going to set up different layers, right? So when you're drawing with your traditional T-square, set square, and the other instruments such as the compass, you actually draw with different line types, right? So the first line type that you're normally using a T-square is a construction line, and then you would have an outline, then you would have a center line, then you would have a dimension line, and so forth, right? So, and if you are doing an engineering drawing, you would have a cutting plane line. So the layers allow you to put these line types on different layers so that you can draw using a line type that you want and turn them on and off so that you can manipulate or identify objects on the drawing. Okay, so that is the purpose of layers, right? You can put different line weights and line types on different layers, and you can also put different objects on different layers, right? All right, so this is how you would make a layer. So after you open the Layer Properties Manager by clicking this icon, you will see this dialog box. Now, here we have the word name, which is the name of the layer that you give it. AutoCAD will automatically give it a name such as layer 1, layer 2. What you would do, here's the S. Above the S, this icon here gives you a new layer. All right? So this list, it says, displays a layer name, such as layer 1, or construction if you choose to name it layer, right? And also bear in mind that when you make a layer, it inherits the properties of the current layer. And I'm going to show you in a little while. So we click new, and our first layer, we're going to call it construction. You can give it any name, but it's best to give it a name that is similar to what it represents for ease of identifying the layer that you want. All right. So the line type is continuous. I'm going to accept the default, and the line weight, we're going to accept the default line weight, and the color is white. All right. I'm going to make another one. All right, this one, the next one that I'm making in today's video is called outline. The outline will be the finished line, and it will be equivalent to a 3H or 2H pencil if you're using it T-square, Z-square. So the line weight, I'm going to change it to 0.3. All right, we're going to make the line weight, meaning we're going to make it thicker when we're printing it or displaying it on the screen. All right. All right, look now. Now remember I told you that when you're making a layer, it's going to inherit the properties of the current layer. So look, now I'm going to make a new layer. And guess what? I want to guess to tell me what you think is going to happen to the next layer. What would the line weight be? Would it be the default like when we made the construction, or will it be another value? So let's go new. This one we're gonna make this a hidden detail layer, right? And the hidden detail layer represents a hidden edge or a hidden line, which represent that. So the hidden line represents a hidden edge. So see it here, it inherited the 0.3. This is what I was telling you. Now the line type, I have to load a hidden detail line. I'm going to load this one for today's video. I'm going to press OK. All right. Then we have to select it. All right. So imagine this. It's like you go to the supermarket and you choose what are different items that you would need. So you would take butter, milk, sugar, um, different items. And then from those items that you choose, that you load, you would choose the item that you would need to make that specific meal, right? So I don't know if that's a good example for you. All right, so we have the hidden. Now I'm going to make another layer. Can you guess what would be the line type and the line weight? It will be hidden and it will be 0.3. So let me show you. Because the next layer is inheriting the properties of the current layer, right? So what you have to do, you have to be careful if you're not aware that it would be drawing with a hidden detail. So the next one that we're going to make is a text layer. And the text layer, we don't want it to be hidden, so we have to come here. I have to choose continuous. All right. All right. Now the other line that you would need is a center line. We may not need a center line for today's video, but we're going to make it nevertheless. So center line, right? And here now, we're going to change, okay, we're going to change the line weight to the default for the center line. Okay. And what happened now? We have to go and load the line. So this is what I tell you about the supermarket. You have to go and load what you want, the different ingredients you would need for the week. So I need this line. I have to load it. And then from the list of lines that I've loaded, which is a line type, I have to go and choose the center. That is what I was trying to explain. All right. All right. So we have the center line. I'm gonna make another construction layer. Okay. Construction 2. And see it inherited the center line, so I need to go and change it. So it would be continuous. Press OK. All right. All right, so we have a construction, you have the outline, you have the hidden, you have the text, you have the center line. All right, so this is what we would need for today's video. If there's something else that we need, we can always come back and make another layer, okay? And the text, oh yes, I was gonna change it. The text, we don't want it to be 0.3, we want it to be the line weight to be the default. So we'll come up here and press OK. All right. So if when you're doing a drawing, you can always change it if you see that the line weight is too thick or is too thin. All right. So we can select our construction layer from here by double clicking here. There's this tick there, or we can come up here and change it. Select the layer that you need from here. All right. All right. So having covered the page setup, the next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna draw our front elevation. We have come to the end of part 1 of the video entitled third angle projection. In the next video, we'll be looking at the same topic, third angle projection, and we'll be continuing this topic in part 2. So please take care until we meet again, and we look forward to seeing you in part 2. Thanks for watching the video, and don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell, like, comment, and share.